Syrian refugees have been through a lot of trauma. They have visually seen, war very recently, so they're coming with that kind of extreme, level of trauma and PTSD. Sometimes they're coming with physical injuries from the war. We have resettled people that have been forcibly detained, tortured, people that have had physical injuries as a result of bombings. So besides, their medical needs, there's also that emotional need. They need to process what they've been through. So there's a lot of emotional support that needs to be provided besides the regular core services that we provide to all of our clients. I think all refugees face the same challenges. So it's coming to a new country, learning a new language, learning new customs and cultures, finding a job. Syrian refugees have all of those same challenges of all refugees, with just that added layer of possible PTSD and emotional trauma from having just left a war-torn country.
The misconception that I've been hearing is that refugees aren't vetted. There's no other immigrant that comes to the U.S. That goes through the type of screening as a refugee does. It's very difficult to get approved as a refugee and get resettled through the U.S. resettlement program because of all the security background checks and vetting and interviewing that has to go on prior to them being accepted into the program and eventually resettled. There's a lot of misinformation out there. Some of the stuff that's being stated in the media about refugees and who they are definitely impacts the refugees. We noticed that we had a number of Syrian refugees slated to arrive, and actually when they found out they were going to go to the U.S., they were afraid to and asked not to come here because they were scared. That happened a lot earlier in the summer. We had some refugees that have come out and came to us after different events in the world saying, is it safe for me to leave my house? Are people going to try to send me back to Syria? So they are fearing. They're misinformed a little bit just of what the process is and if they're really protected here. And it falls on us and the other resettlement offices to try to put them at peace with that and say that, no, you're welcome here. You're safe. You're not going to get sent home, But it's sad,
So when you're out and about in the general public, do you ever run across some of the misconceptions people have about refugees, particularly Syrian refugees?
I do. I think we all do.
Yeah.
And I try to explain to people that, Syrian refugees are fleeing the terrors of the ISIS, groups and groups in the Middle East that really we're all concerned about. So they're not, they're not the ones we really need to fear.
NEO SOS, Northeast Ohio SOS.
Okay. And when does this start?
About a year ago,
Okay.
with the first family coming to Cleveland.
Okay. And the purpose of the group is?
Just to help Syrian refugees. We've been wanting to help for 5.5 years, so that was our chance. The minute we heard about the first family, I called the Syrian community here and got together to see what we can do.
So what kind of help does the group provide the refugees that are coming in?
Usually when I first hear about the family, I go there, see what they need, and usually always the same. First of all, we comfort them. Some of them came sometimes in the middle of the night. It was fasting, Ramadan, we were fasting, so bring them food, get their groceries from the Arabic store, and after that we tell them to make a list and everything.
So what's the biggest challenge for you in your group?
I wish I can do more.
Yeah.
I wish I had more resources, more. I mean, I am doing everything I can, but I wish I can get them everything they want, because they've been through help. I just want to make it up for what they have been through.
Yeah.
Because those people paid the price that we all wanted for freedom. I feel they paid the price, and I want to try to help pay them back in any way we can. That's how my family and the group who is helping, that's how we feel.